On this channel, we had covered all 4 of the main characters of the Mafia franchise, but the ones who deserve as much love as them are the side characters. People like the intelligent and chaotic John Donovan, or the short fused and wisecracking Paulie Lombardo. Or how about the people's favorite, the loyal best friend and life of the party, Joe Barbaro. And now you can add to that list the cool, calm, and collected, the disciplined soldier and best dressed in class, the man with $1,000 haircut and $1,000,000 smile, the... You said what? I'm doing too much glazing right now. I should get a license the way I'm riding. And I look even more stupid because I'm repeating everything you say into the microphone. Luca Trapani, everybody. Luca is the right-hand man to Don Teresa, and he does the job well. Whatever Don wants, he gets it done. What makes him different though, is he is not just handling things by pointing a gun or making a decision based off his ego. He's rational, he's smart, he thinks things through, understanding on how to read the room. He's mostly charming and good with his words, understanding every situation doesn't need a gun. In the same breath though, he ain't afraid to pull that blicky out in the corner of your Azadi, if you know what I mean. Luca has been doing this for a long time, and I believe he's in his 30s in the beginning of the game. So this is second nature for him when it comes to the mob and what it brings. Now, in doing so, that means he spends a lot of time with the mob and less time with his actual family, his wife and 2 kids, one of those kids being Samuel Trapani. And if that name sounds familiar, it should, because it's the same Sam from the first Mafia game, which, side note, is just mwah, chef's kiss by the devs, I think. Back to my point though, the devotion is to the Mafia first, without a doubt, and everyone knows this. Yet Luca spends as much time with his family as he possibly can. His wife always worries for him and he always reassures her everything will be fine. Don't stress. That's foreshadowing. Enzo, the main character of the old country, was young and hungry. He was determined to live a better life by any means, and when he got the opportunity to do so, which was working for the Don doing various jobs, he easily took it. In that time though, someone needed to teach Enzo the ropes and how to live the life of crime, and not just in a chaotic way. Luca showed Enzo how to protect himself. He showed him how to be disciplined and when to strike. And I think what's most important out of all of those things is Luca led by example, which I feel like is rare in a life of crime, especially the mob. And Enzo looked up to Luca. He seen him as a big brother or father figure. Hell, I damn near looked up to Luca, and I ain't never carnate somebody asada. One thing that made you really tell that Luca actually cared for Enzo is when Enzo and Isabella are cornered by a rival mob. Enzo had to get his hands dirty a little bit and put his paws on one of them, and Luca shows up to stop it before it get completely out of hand. And after fixing the situation, he noticed Enzo is with Isabella. Now, for those who don't know why that's an issue, let's just say it's a no-no. Like carnate Enzo's asada no-no. Okay. Okay. I promise y'all, I've seen that meme on TikTok so many times. But instead of getting pissed at Enzo or telling the Don, Luca gives Enzo a warning, and he lets him know what can happen if they are seen together alone. He also told Isabella to keep this on a low and not mention it to her father, because if her father find out, in every story you hear about the Mafia and living in the life of crime in general, it doesn't end well, at least 90% of the time. It's a fast life and it brings people a lot of stuff that they always wanted. A bond, the freedom to do what you want, material things, and of course what we all do anything for, the money. Only issue though is it also brings distrust, paranoia, loss, envy, jail, and the one we would all love to avoid, death. In a meeting gone wrong, which was really a setup, Luca is hit in the process and he starts to bleed out. Now, when he's initially hit, you don't think he's going to die. His wound doesn't seem as bad, and by the time he gets to the doctor, he should be fine. Even the Don reassures you this. But then, the gunfights start to happen more, and Luca has yet to get any help. So it go from being something that could have easily been fixed to now something to worry about. And by the time he's actually out of the woods with all the gunfire, it's still too late because they have yet to get the doctor to Luca. So his condition worsened and he started to bleed out on the table. But as he's bleeding out, you can see in his eyes how much realization he has of essentially everything. The fear he has in his eyes that tells me it wasn't worth it. He's not going to be able to see his family again. And it tells me he would have done things differently. So he used his last words, his dying breath, to warn Enzo to get out of the life if he can, telling the kid he mentored, at the end of the day, it's not worth it.
Get up. If you can. Get up.
From what we've seen in Luca's entire life, you never see him waver. You don't see him question the life he chose. You simply see a man accept the life that he has. He provides for his family, he sticks to his morals and his beliefs. He's a kind-hearted individual who loves the people around him. You go against those people though, and you see he won't bat an eye to protect them, and that's including the Don. Even though Luca did everything right in this life of crime, he still had to pay the price that comes with the life. But at the end, he realized the price was way too high, and given a chance, he would have changed how he did things. He seen that all that mattered was his family, his wife, and his kids. The thought of not being able to see them again is what I think ate at him the most. Not the mob, not the money, not the duties of an underboss. Simply the ones he cherished the most. You know, the crazy thing about the life of crime is how much it's glorified. No matter how many times we see it end horribly for so many people. They have a great 3-year run, maybe 5 years. Some get lucky and it's 10 or 20. But 90% of them are always dead or in jail for the rest of their life. But somehow, some way, it's still seen as a way of life. Luca was a good man in an unforgiving world. He did what he felt was the right thing. But the life of crime swallowed him whole and moved on to the next victim. That victim just so happens to be his son, Trapani. Whether he knew it or not, Sam walked the same path his father did. Maybe he thought he was making his own choices, but everything he did had a little bit of Luca in it. Growing up in the shadows of a man he barely knew, and having the same way of living. It shouldn't come to a surprise that Sam has the same ending. Luca didn't mean to pass it down, and Sam didn't mean to repeat it. So just remember, if you choose that life, there will always be somebody ready to corner your asada.